Yo, what up? It's your boy Neil coming to you from my reality TV, life from my point of view, and I wanted to bring y'all hopefully my final slider set. In this one, this is, like I said, hopefully this is it. Hopefully I won't have to make any more changes. If so, there may be a little tweak here and there, but nothing too drastic. I've actually, with these slider sets, I've used feedback from people. I've had people test it out. Salute to my boy Jack, and my homie on Twitter, Houston, Texas 224. Shout out to you for all of the help and all the kind words, my man. And with their feedback and other people's feedback, I was able to kind of tweak things to make them play a little better, make them play a couple little things. I mean, and I've been getting good feedback on the sliders anyway, but now I've been able to tweak things to make them play just a little bit better than what they were doing before. So first things first, I didn't change much in the range of injuries and fatigue. I think I did lower or raise, I can't remember. I think I lowered the injuries down to 29. That gives a good, nice, realistic scale of injuries. You'll still see injuries. You won't see them every play though. Like if you put it too high, you'll be seeing injuries like every single play. The little bar will be at the top saying somebody's hurt or somebody's out the game, but you will get it periodically. Fatigue is about the same as what it was before. It might have been raised or lowered by 1. The speed parity is the biggest difference in this whole entire update. The speed parity was dropped from 64 to 48. Now I did that because I looked at videos, I was watching other YouTube videos, I was talking to somebody on Twitter, and I just been getting all these different things. So I started to actually just take the scale from 64 to 48 and just lower it incrementally until I got to a comfortable spot where I'm like, okay, the defense is playing good, the offense is playing good, the running backs are playing good, guys are getting the separation that they need to get, guys are getting separation on deep balls, guys are getting being able to make sound moves and everything like that. So 48 seems to be, in conjunction with the other sliders, the sweet spot for my slider set. So for right now it's at 48. That could change, but I don't see it changing. Now let's go to the player skill side, and I'll explain some of these. I'm not going to go through every single one of these because some of them haven't changed much. I lowered quarterback accuracy down to 40 because I don't want everybody throwing perfect passes. There should be some wobblers. There should be some overthrows. There should be, guys should just miss their targets. And that goes for the player side and the CPU side. So at 40, I've noticed that it gives a perfect balance to that. I lowered pass blocking to 34. I lowered pass blocking for the CPU as well because I just felt like people just are standing in the pocket, myself included. Like I just had too much time back there sometimes I would just stand there. I wouldn't even move. I wouldn't try to shift the pocket to create a passing lane or anything. I would just stand in one spot because I wasn't getting a pass rush. So I decided to lower it. So now, even if it's not necessarily going to be a sack, you'll feel the pressure. You'll feel the pocket collapse. You'll have to move sometimes. You'll have to move to create passing lanes. If you're trying to block a guy like Khalil Mack, Cameron Jordan, guys like that, you're going to have to make sure you do some line shifting. You might have to keep a tight end in, all of that, because those guys are going to start making a difference with it set like this. Wide receiver catching, I put at 53. That's, there are certain situations where, you want the receiver to win and you want the defender to win. So at 53, it gives a nice balance between the two. Like receivers will make some catches, but they will drop some. So don't get it twisted thinking that, well, it's up to 53, so they're going to catch everything. No, they won't. They're going to drop some. I lowered run blocking down to 28. Matter of fact, I don't remember what I had run blocking on before, but it's at 28 right now. Run blocking being lower because, as I explained in my run blocking videos, I think that with it being lower, they actually block better, as well as it gives the running back more of an ability. It's more ability based because now he'll follow his blocks. Now he won't just run right into a tackler. He'll try to juke. He'll try to spin, stiff arm. He'll do everything he can to get the yardage that he needs. So the better running backs, this will really help. Everybody should be able to start running a little better. But on the flip side, on the computer side, which I will explain when I get over there, the computer will also start running better. So be aware of that. Fumbles is at 52. I just saw just the influx of fumbles, so I just raised it up by like 2 or 3 points. I think it was at 49 or 48 before, so I put it up to 52. Reaction time, I explained that before, so I don't really have to get into that. Interceptions, I explained that before. Pass coverage, I explained that before. Tackling, so I don't really have to get into the rest of these. They're kind of self-explanatory. You can kind of figure out why they are what they are once you start playing. So now let's go to the CPU side, which is the very interesting side of this. Okay, now for the CPU, again, 39 pass accuracy, because the CPU will have a tendency to complete everything. They'll have and with it set to at 39, I've noticed that even guys like I saw Brady miss one pass, but the rest of them, he was in the vicinity, he was hitting guys. So it's going to really affect those guys who aren't that good. So those lower tier guys, those guys with the 60s, those guys with the 72s and things like that, they're not going to be that accurate. So you're going to have to make sure you're passing lanes, you're passing windows, you're going to have to make sure the pressure isn't there. There's going to be a lot that you're going to have to consider. And a lot of reason for these sliders is because I want people to actually have to use more than just, okay, this guy's a 97 in speed. I want guys to actually now start using your brain, start using making sure you have the right guys on your team, making sure when you draft, making sure when you pick guys up in free agency that you're picking up the correct guys. Don't just pick up guys because he throws a ball, he has a 97 for strength, but if his accuracy is bad, it's going to show now. Pass blocking for the CPU, I also lowered. I lowered that because I wanted to create, again, I wanted to create pressure, and lowering it now makes the quarterback have to make decisions. So the CPU quarterback now has to make split-second decisions just like we do. They can't just sit back there either. And they had a tendency to just stand in the pocket like statues and never have to move, never have to run. So now you'll see guys, because my brother told me one time he played the Panthers. He's like, Cam wouldn't run. Cam was just standing there. He would never run. He would never take off. He would never. With it lowered to 41, Cam gets out of there. So if you put some pressure on him and he has an open running lane, he's going to take it. Keep that in mind. Don't have to really go into catching. I explained that. Run blocking for the CPU, again, I lowered it to 40, and I'm seeing great running. All of the videos that I've been posting about the running and things like that, they have been, it's because I lowered it to about 40, and I raised the fumbles. Now raising the fumbles to 54 also helps the running game. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why, but the running backs seem to run better, so I left that at 54. And going back to the run blocking, at 40, it's creating such a great feel, and I had to figure out how to eliminate the running back from just running and just chasing behind run blockers. And now they'll run behind run blockers when they need to, but if they have an open lane, they're going to take it. If they have an opening on the sideline, they're going to take it. So you're going to really have to be strong in your defense, because the computer will now run. Now hopefully this should start to balance things out a little bit, because the computer just wasn't good at running before, and I think this will help. Again, I'm not going to really go into reaction time, interceptions, or pass coverage, because I discussed those before. But reaction time, for me, for anybody who's new, when I explained it before, my thought process is that reaction time, the lower it is, the faster they react. So, and I haven't seen anything to make me feel any different about that. So I'm keeping my reaction times what they are. Tackling at 40, you don't want big hits every single time. You're still going to get them, but now what will happen is with the sliders being the ways they are, with a lot of things being lowered, what happens is now is those special traits that the guys have, those guys that are go for the big hit, those guys that can make sideline catches, those guys that get penalties all the time. This is where all of that stuff will come into play at now. So in pass blocking, for instance, if you got a team and you're blitzing a lot and you got two linemen that are prone to get penalties because that's what their traits indicate, you're probably going to get a lot of holding penalties. So keep all of this stuff in mind as you're playing. So you're going to have to make adjustments during the game in your in-game adjustments menu. You may have to go conservative, you may have to go aggressive sometimes. Like, this is where now the strategy element is going to come into play at, and that's what I really wanted with the sliders. I won't delve too much into the penalties because they are what they are. I'll have all of that in the descriptions below this video, as well as on the blog post when I post that with the entire slider set for everybody that is either on PSN. Because like I said, if you're on PSN, you can find me at Neo the One. If you're on Xbox One or the PC, you can get the slider information either from my blog post or directly under this video. So as always, I'm gonna end this with saying I hope everybody is having a good time with them. I hope it's giving everybody good gaming. I mean, I've had people come and tell me that I've brought their love back to Madden because of my slider set, and that's probably one of the biggest compliments that you can give me in regards to these. And that's what I want. I do this for us. I do this for the community. I want us all to have good gaming experiences. I want us all to have fun. I want things to be realistic. I want things to play logically. So that's why I dedicate a lot of my time into getting these right. So I thank everybody out there for the downloads. Any feedback you have to offer, you can give it to me on Twitter. I'll include that information below. My Twitter handle is I'm the regular guy. You can leave it on my blog post, or you can leave it here on YouTube. All feedback is welcome. All feedback is listened to, because I take a lot of that into consideration when I'm making adjustments, because your game may play different than mine as far as what you're looking at and what I'm looking at. So it might be something that I might be missing. So I need that feedback if you have it. So thanks everybody. I hope you guys are all having a great time with the game, and remember, this is why we play. I'll holla at you. One.